All right. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. We'll title this lesson right here, Black Mirror Episode Breakdown, Marketed Beast. Okay. For those of you who don't know what Black Mirror is, okay, Black Mirror is a television show. I guess it's something like that. It's like a television show that tells different stories in each episode. Each episode consists of its own particular story, right? And these stories are pretty much centered around life, basically the life of the marketed beast technology, all right? How the world will look, how people will be affected by it, right? It's pretty blatant, what they put in this show as far as the MOTB technology. And this is what we've been telling you from the apostles of Great Millstone and elders of Great Millstone going down. Okay, we told you that when the MOT is presented, all right, this devil was going to, put people in not even into more of a corporate slavery, not only just a corporate slavery, more of a corporate slavery, but a bio slavery, right? Because they want to put that technology inside of you, all right, and have full control of your motor functions and whatnot, all right. So it was this episode I watched last night with me and my woman, and it's the Black Mirror new season that just came out. And it's this episode. It's called Common People. Okay. Now, I'm just going to let everybody know, fair warning. All right. This video will have spoiler alerts. Okay. Because I'm going to pretty much break down the episode from my perception and correlate it with the scriptures. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to have to spoil a lot of the information that happens in this episode, which I urge you Akim to go check this episode out, man. And you'll see how this devil, how this devil is really trying to put people in a different high technological slavery. Okay. So, let's get into it. This episode is called Common People, right? Season 7, Black Mirror, Season 7, Common People. And pretty much, I'm going to try to make the story short, right? But you got this woman and her husband, okay? I guess the woman is a school teacher, and the husband, he works at like a factory, and they, I guess they're happily married, and, they're deeply in love and stuff. But then the woman ends up, something happens with her brain, right? So she ends up fainting, all right, and she faints and then goes to the hospital. And then she gets, basically she's pretty much put into a coma, right? Because there's something that happened to her brain. All right. Basically, she went brain dead. Okay. So then the hospital tells the husband that, it's a big chance she's not going to wake up. Right. Basically, she's dead. But there's this company that installs, brain technology. Okay, that Elon Musk, that Neuralink. All right, that's basically what it was. Okay, basically the hospital is telling the husband that there's a company that installs brain technology, which will help her to live. Right. So the husband, he goes ahead and agrees to getting that brain technology. You see, and I want to just say that's going to be a part of the devil's schemes and devious plots. Okay. Esau is going to present this technology as a miracle. Okay. All right. Restore sight to the blind, people who are in comas, help them come out of a coma. Okay. People who are paralyzed, they'll make it to where they can walk again. But, it's not going to be all cracked up, with it, basically it's not going to be what it seems. Okay. It's not going to be what it seems. It's actually going to be a torturous device to anybody that receives it. That's why we were told in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, not to, receive that technology inside of you, man. Okay. But let me continue with the story. So he agrees to get that technology inserted inside of her brain. Right. She does it. And, they try to go back to living a normal life. But then I think the first sign of error, the first problem that they seen was they couldn't even leave outside of their county because basically her brain chip is connected to some goddamn towers. Right. And if she leaves outside of the zone of those towers, right, then, her conscience is pretty much going to turn off, if that makes sense. All right. And that reminds me a lot of like the 5G towers that they've been setting up. All right. All of that is going to coincide with the MOTB technology. OK, so then that was the first sign. So then they go to go ask what's going on with this technology. You know what I mean? Like pretty much they go consult with the person that persuaded them to receive that technology. OK, and the person that they consult with tells them that, oh, well, if you want to travel a further distance, you're going to have to upgrade and pay more money because I guess they were paying a subscription. All right. Every month for that brain tech. So they were paying a subscription every month. All right. To keep that brain tech active inside of her. But if she wants to travel outside of the county, okay, she's going to have to pay more. Right. And that shows you how this devil, how he operates, man. OK, nothing is free with Esau Edom. OK, he's going to find a way to tax you. All right. He's going to find a way to get inside of your pockets. All right. And this MOTB technology. All right. This is a surefire way to do that because, they're going to wager this as a means of survival. OK, and, when you do something like that, OK, and, you create hope in a false device like that and tell people that they can't survive without it. At that point, you could put any price on it. OK, you could fluctuate the prices how you want. All right. But let's get back to the story. So basically, they upgrade to a different subscription, so that way she could travel further with that brain tech inside of her. All right. And then she starts bugging out. You know what I mean? So she upgraded, but then that comes with more problems. Right. So now she's sleeping longer. Right. And, you know, she's basically becoming a robot. Okay. She's becoming a robot. All right. You know, you got to watch the episode to see what I'm talking about. She becomes a robot. All right. So then they go back to the person that, you know, that persuaded them to get the brain tech. Right. And, you know, they come to her with another problem and tell her, hey, this and this is going on now. And then the person that they're consulting with about the brain tech tells them again to upgrade their subscription, so that way that wouldn't happen. All right. So now, you know, the couple, they're trying to raise money because now they can't afford it, you know, because it went from $300 a month to now $1,000 a month. And it keeps going up. There's new subscriptions to get. There's, you know what I mean? You got to upgrade to this, you know? So then the episode ends with basically the husband, okay, you know, him having to do some outrageous things on the internet so that way he could raise money to keep his wife alive. You see? And you know, I'm gonna end the story right there. Everything else, you know, you just gonna have to go watch the episode, because I spoiled what was going on, but you know, I didn't want to say everything, you know. You just got to go watch it for yourself and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, but that episode is a perfect example of the MOTB technology and how it's going to affect people and split families apart. OK, and how people are going to, you know, they're pretty much going to be in a bad case. OK, because now that they got that technology inside of them, I mean, Esau could turn you on, turn you off. He could bill you. He could, you know, he could do whatever he want. You know what I mean? You are now property of the U.S. government, a.k.a. property of the devil. OK. And, you know, an episode like that, you know, I had to make a video on it because it's just so surreal, because that is the society that the devil is, you know, trying to develop right now, man, to where everybody has that type of technology inside of them. And, and another thing, she was hooked up to a grid. You know what I mean? Basically, she was hooked up to a computer. So that brain tech that she had inside of her was hooked up to a computer. OK. And basically her life was dependent on those servers. All right. And when you go into the Revelation 13, all right, 16 on down. All right. And you get that word mark in Revelation 13 and 16. OK, and you exhaust that word and break it down and go into the root words. All right. One of the words is graphos. OK, dealing with that word mark. OK, graphos. All right. Basically meaning a database. All right. So it's basically saying that chip, all right, is going to come with a database behind it. And what's that database? Well, it's going to be them computers, man. Everybody's conscience, everybody's technology that they have inside of them will be connected to that computer, and that computer will pretty much be the backbone of their life, you see? And that's what this devil is. Basically, the devil is trying to cancel out the Heavenly Father and his Son, because right now, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, controls all of the spirits. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the reason why you wake up and you do the things that you do. All right. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has that power. Okay. But Esau is trying to create a world where AI, all right, he's giving that power to AI. Okay. And AI will determine when you get sick, when you wake up, basically try to, be in the stead of the Most High. Okay. So, yeah, it's a good episode, man. Go check it out. Black Mirror Season 7, the first episode, called Common People. Okay. It's a perfect illustration of what the world is going to look like when the MOT is presented, and how they're going to market it, and how they're going to play on people's desperate times. When people are in desperate times and dire need, how the U.S. government is going to play off that, okay, and offer it as a solution. You see? Very good episode, man. So let's go ahead and get some scriptures and we'll shut it out. This is Revelation 16:2. It says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." You see? Now, two things I want to touch on, where it talks about a noisome, all right, which I believe that's the nuclear missiles, because it's already been prophesied in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Let's get it real quick. Okay, anybody that receives that mark, all right, is going to be face to face with those nuclear missiles. That's how America is being destroyed. Okay, you will burn alive in that nuclear hellfire, because once you accept that technology inside of you, you pretty much chose Satan. All right, you don't believe in the Lord. All right, regardless of whatever medical condition you're suffering with, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai wants to see the faith that, you pretty much trust in him that he can heal you. Not get desperate and go to the devil and let the devil experiment with your body and turn you into a cyborg, right? That's no faith. And in fact, you're telling the Most High, I believe in Satan more than I believe in you. So you're going to have to burn alive in those nuclear missiles, man. Okay? So let's get it right here. This is Revelation 14:9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead." And remember, she had that inside of her brain. Okay. And that's kind of dealing with the forehead, because behind your forehead is what? Is your brain. All right. It says, or in his hand. Yeah, you got people receiving that small little technology inside of their hand, man. Okay. And they painting it as a convenience, so that way you could go to the store and you could pay as you go. Okay. All of this is the MOTB, and that shows you how close we are. All right. And this is the point. Verse 10, it says, "The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone." Okay. Now, when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, what did he destroy it with? He destroyed it with fire and brimstone that came from where? It came from the heavens. It came from the sky. All right. These nuclear missiles are going to come from the sky. Okay. And it's going to set this country ablaze. All right. That's why you see things ramping up, such as World War III. OK, these nations are they're getting angry. All right. Everybody's getting angry with America, especially with Donald Trump. He's putting tariffs on everything and, doing shady deals and shit. All right. The scriptures talk about the beast shall hate the whore, meaning that all these other nations that were in league with America are going to eventually turn their back on America and shoot nuclear missiles over here to destroy it. OK. And that's how people who receive the MOTB, people who receive this technology, they're going to have to suffer that. All right. And that's not a death you're just going to take on the chin. OK, oh, well, I'll just die real quick. No. All right. The Lord is going to keep your spirit and your body. All right. And you're going to burn for what's going to feel like eternity. All right. It ain't going to be forever, but it will be a long time. OK, the Lord is really going to let you feel that burn. All right. OK. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their tormented ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, nuclear missiles, man, you're gonna be burnt alive, man. So that's dealing. Go back to Revelation 16:2. Where it says, and there fell a noisome. All right. That's the noisome. OK, let me see if I can get another precept. OK, because it talks about the how do you spell noisome again? It talks about the noisome. What is this? Noisome pestilence, right? In the scriptures. All right. I had to figure out how to spell noisome. All right. Pestilence. Okay. Yeah. So this is Psalms 91:3. It says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. Okay. All right. And we know in this time that's talking about the nuclear missiles. Okay. The noisome pestilence, man. All right. So then let's go back to Revelation 16:2. It says, and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. A grievous sore. All right. And that's what that woman got. OK. She received that MOTB. All right. And yeah, she was still alive, but she got a grievous sore because now she's constantly in debt. Basically, she don't control herself. OK, she can't control herself. Her life is a living hell. And that's what that MOTB is going to do to people. Your life is going to be a living hell, man. All right. So anybody that receives that technology inside of them, all right, your life is not going to get better. It's going to get significantly worse, man. OK. And that's what it shows in that episode. You see, they framed it as, this is something that could help you. It could save your life. Right. You'll be able to do this, do that again. Just like how they're promoting right now with with Elon Musk and his brain technology. OK, but guess what? If you take that technology, all right, not everything ain't going to go good. OK, I mean, you just merge yourself to technology, basically a foreign object that's not supposed to be integrated with the human body. Something is definitely going to go wrong. All right. I believe that, if you get that technology inside of you Noah Harari, that demon. OK, Noah Harari. All right. Look him up. He said that humans are now hackable devices or something like that. OK, and Noah Harari is he's one of them Satanists that's a part of the MOTB program. OK, and when I say MOTB, I'm saying Mark of the Beast. All right. That's the acronym for that. But I can't keep saying Mark of the B3Ast. I can't keep saying it because, this video will get flagged. You know, so I only have a certain limit that I could keep saying the full thing. You know, just throwing that out there. But Noah Harari, right? He's a part of that program. OK, and he's saying that humans are going to be hackable devices soon. What's he talking about? He's talking about when they integrate mankind with technology. OK, you will become a hackable device. You can be hacked. Imagine that. You can be hacked because of the technology you got inside of you, man. You see? So that's going to be, that grievous sword, man. OK, not everything is going to go good. All right. You're going to suffer. And then you're going to endure the ultimate suffering of those nuclear missiles when Yahushua come back. You see? Now let's get this last scripture and then we'll shut it out. This is 2nd Esdras 16, starting at verse 68. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." And this MOTB technology, okay, this is an idol. All right. This is an idol. And anybody that receives it, you're pretty much bowing down to the idol. Just like when you read the book of Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar made a decree for everybody to bow down to that golden calf. All right. Back then, you had to literally bow down and, show your allegiance to that false idol. OK. And when you bow down to a false idol, that comes with a lifestyle. That comes with a mentality change. You see? So when people start to get integrated into, the cyborg way of life, all right, they're pretty much bowing down to an idol because that's going to come with a lifestyle and a different mentality. You see? Just wanted to throw that out there. This is the point. Verse 69. It says, "And they that consent unto them," and what does it mean to consent? It means to agree. All right. Key word in Revelation 13 and 16. If any man receive the mark. Well, that's Revelation 14. But the key word in Revelation 13 and 14 is receive. Receive. That's consenting. That's agreeing. All right. So niggas might think they clever and, I took the MOTB, but then I took it out. Well, you still received it. You still put it inside of your body. At some point, you still said, Satan is my Lord. You see? So you're going to be destroyed, whether you put it in or take it out, because you received it. All right? You're not supposed to receive it at all. Okay? You're not supposed to receive that shit at all, man. All right? Okay? So that's a part of consenting. It says, "And they that consent unto them," all right? So those that agree with the MOTB technology, those that allow this devil to put that inside of them, all right? It says, "shall be had in derision," and derision means confusion. All right? Confusion. Okay? When you watch that episode, you can see that couple, they were confused. They were like, okay, what do we do next? We're losing money. We're going broke. What the hell is going on with this technology? You see? You're going to be had in derision, man. You're going to be confused if you receive that technology inside of you, man. All right? It says, "and in reproach and trodden underfoot." Yeah, you're going to be destroyed all across the board, man. Okay? All across the board, you're going to be destroyed, man. All right? So I just wanted to make this this lesson because I got inspired by that episode. And I urge you brothers to go watch it, man. Go watch all the Black Mirror, actually, man. Okay? Season 1, if you haven't, season 1 all the way to the new season, man. The entire show is based on what life is like with the MOTB system. Okay? Social credit score, everything, man. They put it right in your face with Black Mirror, man. All right? So go watch that. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, and give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom.